All right, so I want to show you how I built my seven-figure online business that runs on one email a day. It is a super lean, super profitable, super easy system to run. And I want to just kind of show you the 30,000 foot view of how the business works. And it works based on this concept that I call the hourglass funnel. Now, a lot of people who start an online business, maybe you're a coach or you sell courses or you're a consultant or you sell services or whatever it is. Um, they never really achieve any escape velocity. They never really like hit liftoff with their business. And I think the reason why is because they're just doing the wrong things, right? I have been able to build a big following. I have 6,000 people who read, not just open my emails, but actually like read my stuff every single day. And as a result of that, I've been able to build a really big leveraged business where I could write an email as soon as I wake up, make some money, and then just get on with my day or be done working if I want to. So this is kind of the system that makes it all work. So it's called the hourglass funnel because obviously the drawing looks like an hourglass. You're probably familiar with the concept of an hourglass. At the top of the hourglass is traffic, right? You have the whole great big world. You have tons of potential customers, leads, buyers, future buyers, whatever we want to call them, out there, and we need to get them into your world. Now, what a lot of people do is they focus on building up a social following, or they just wait. They wait for word of mouth or something to drop money in their lap to drop clients and leads and sales and everything. What you have to do is you have to drive people to a something I call a buyer magnet. Now, you'll notice the top of the hourglass, like a regular hourglass, all the grains of sand, they fall down. Gravity pulls them down, right? Towards a buyer magnet. Now, this is where you're going to capture someone's email, right? Super important. Everything that I do online, every piece of content that I write, every ad campaign that I run, every time I go on a podcast, every time I do a free guest training, every time I go to an online summit, every time I speak at a live event, the only purpose of all of those things that I'm doing, it's not to sell anything. What I'm trying to do is get people onto my email list, because what that does is it takes all these other people's traffic and makes it my traffic that I own. And this is very key to understand. If you are going to find success online, you need to own a traffic source, right? If you own a little bit of traffic, you're going to make a little bit of money. If you own a lot of traffic, you're going to make a lot of money, right? What does it mean to own traffic? Well, if I want to go get customers from Instagram or Twitter or LinkedIn or whatever, I have to pay a toll. Now I can either pay money, capital, right, cash, to put my message in front of people on that platform and hopefully entice them to come over into my world and buy my stuff, or I have to invest sweat equity, meaning I'm producing content. And I have to continuously do that in order to keep my profile in front of people, right? Because platforms reward people who are consistent and frequent and continuously create new content. So, and that's all fun and good. Like, there's nothing wrong with necessarily doing those things, but what a lot of people do is they will put in the work, they'll put in the sweat equity, they will run ads and try to send people to pages to buy things, but they will never actually capture the emails of those people, so they never truly own that traffic. And then if they want to go make sales to that group of people, they then have to invest more sweat equity in terms of doing content, or pay more money for ad campaigns to redrive that traffic that they already drove one time back over to those offer pages. I do something a little bit different. I take all of the content that I produce and all of the ads, they funnel towards the buyer magnet. Now, in terms of buyer magnets, there's a few, people use the term lead magnet. Like, I need a lead magnet. And like, yeah, lead magnets are good. But what you want to actually be doing is using your lead magnet as a filter to find the buyers, right? This is super important, especially if you're advertising. I have a lot of people reach out to me and they say, I want to do ads. And I'm like, that's cool. We could do ads. But the key thing you have to understand is that if you're going to do advertising, advertising needs to pay for itself. I hate when people use the term paid ads, because A, it doesn't make any sense. Like, obviously it's paid. It's an advertisements cost money. Like, there's no unpaid. Well, in my system, there is an unpaid ad. I like to say unpaid ads because I don't pay for my ads. The people who buy my offers on the front end, when I advertise them, pay for my ads. So what I do is I create funnels. They're either lead magnet funnels with an offer on the thank you page, or it's an actual direct to sale campaign where the whole purpose of that is to get a buyer who's going to escalate up into a higher level purchase. So these are oftentimes low ticket products. I have one on that I'm advertising right now that maybe you've seen. It's called 24 email templates for $24. The whole goal of that is to get a buyer onto my email list. I don't care about making a profit. I mean, obviously, like, it'd be nice to make a profit, but if I make a profit on those ad campaigns, I'm just going to up the spend until I'm not profitable anymore. And I'm going to continuously up the spend until I'm break even or even losing a little bit of money on the front end, because I want to push that as high as humanly possible and get as many buyers onto my list as possible. I don't care about the front end profit. And the same thing with the lead magnet funnel. I will get people to opt in for something, and as soon as they hit the thank you page for that opt-in, they are going to be presented with an offer. Now, if you know your numbers and you can make it work, where if you spend $100 a day on traffic, but you get $100 back or more that very same day, or even if you get $90 back, it's not the end of the world. You're about break even. You're close to it, right? That means you can continuously spend money and increase the size of your email list at a much faster velocity. And this is super important. This is why my business has grown so much. And yes, I've been doing content and stuff for years, and I still do it, and it's still very useful to do. But the reason I like ads is because when you advertise, you can tell, let's say Facebook, you're advertising on Facebook and Instagram in the Meta ecosystem. You could choose a sales objective if you have an offer attached to your funnel, right? And you could tell Facebook, hey, I want you to show my ad to all the people who are buyers, right? You think about Facebook as like, 2-3 billion people, whatever it is, right? Out of those, let's say it's 3 billion people. Out of 3 billion people, like one big circle full of leads. Over here are the people who like to watch videos. Over here are the people, there's inventory, there's groups of people, right? There's segments that Facebook knows because they have data on everything and they know how you interact and what you actually do on the platform or off the platform. These people over here like to engage with posts. These people over here like to opt in for things, right? But these people over here, those are the buyers. When you choose a different objective in Ads Manager, like I choose sales objectives, conversion objectives. And the reason why is because I don't want my ads going to the people who like to engage with posts or people who like to watch videos on Facebook or Instagram or the people who like to opt in for things. I want Facebook to only show my ad to people that they have indexed in their system that are likely to buy products, because a buyer in motion tends to stay in motion. Buyers buy things. Non-buyers don't buy things, right? Does this kind of make sense? So when I run ad campaigns, I like to use a sales objective because at least, even if there's going to be a lot of people who hit your page and don't buy, but at least the people who are seeing those ads, who are building familiarity and learning, seeing your face over and over again, seeing your videos and your statics, and they'll finally get like, hey, who the hell is this Chris Orzechowski guy? Let me Google him. Let me check out his website. Let me learn more about him. Let me follow him on social. Maybe I'll see if he has some solutions for me, right? All of those people that are seeing the ads are known buyers in Facebook's system, right? And this is super important. A lot of people, they advertise to all these other groups of people out here who are not proven buyers. I like using an objective because Facebook knows, and it's going to show my ad to buyers. And even if they don't buy that day, they will probably eventually buy if I can continuously advertise to them over a long enough timeline, right? Once we're getting people onto the list, everyone funnels down right here to the choke point, right? This is the email capture. And again, we could have an opt-in page, like a free lead magnet with an offer to get people to actually buy something to recoup the traffic costs. And then there's upsells and order bumps to increase the average order value. So that way we can take in more money, more cash on an average order value basis versus the CPA, the cost per acquisition of what we're paying to actually get a buyer there in the first place. Now, if you know that your funnel's average order value is $40 and you only have to spend $35 to acquire a buyer, that means you're getting paid $5 a customer for every single person who goes onto your list. That's a pretty good system. Would you like to get paid to grow your list? Right? Like, that's what we're doing here. Now, once someone is on the list, daily email is the engine that like runs the entire business, right? And this is what I have done since 2017. I've been sending a daily email. I recommend, my consulting clients, I have them do this. The clients I've worked with, as a copywriter, like, this is what we do. We do daily email, or we do as close to daily email as possible. It's called daily-ish, right? Once people are on your list, you can sell any different number of things. So like the hourglass is like obviously fat at the top up here, right? Because we're casting a wide net full of traffic, right? We want to get our ads and our content in front of as many people as possible. but we're not interested in capturing all of them. We're interested in capturing the buyers, the proven buyers, the people who like to actually buy things that we sell. And that all those buyers, they funnel into that choke point where we capture them. And then once they're on the list, we're going to start sending daily emails. Now, this is a far superior approach to just generating traffic on social media and then sending it to higher end offers, back end offers. Because again, we want to capture the traffic, because over time, the size of the list will grow and the revenue and profit that you make will start to compound like a compound interest chart. And that's what's going to happen here, right? Once I get them onto the list, we send daily emails. So once I have your email, I could sell you books. I could sell you workshops or events. I could sell courses. I could sell coaching. I could sell communities or membership, consulting, done for you services, performance deals for high level clients, right? I could sell software that I use or software that I create if I ever want to create a software business, right? For that audience of people that I'm serving. I could sell affiliate offers, right? Like, hey, my friend has an offer. I've used it. It's really cool. You should buy it too. And you get a commission for that. Or even sponsorships. I've had people offer to pay me money just to include a link or a message in my email. I haven't really done too many of those, but I get offers all the time for these kind of things, right? It's pretty cool. So like, what most people do is they're out there and they just try to, I have a social media profile or a YouTube channel or whatever it is, and they just try to drive traffic to their offers and then take what they can get. But I think that this is the wrong approach. I think what you want to do is you want to identify buyers, get the buyers onto an email list, and then sell buyers more solutions, right? Your business is a manufacturer of outcomes, kind of like a factory, kind of like there's an assembly line, right? Like, people start because they have a problem. They seek you out and they go across the assembly line, and you slot in different offers that can help them achieve the outcomes that they want in their life or in their business or whatever it is you sell, right? And that's the way that this works. So you need to start thinking about your funnel like an hourglass. You're going to cast a wide net of traffic, but you're only concerned about getting the people onto your list who are buyers, as many buyers as humanly possible. And if free leads come in too, that's fine too, because those people might eventually buy something. But we want to make sure we're getting in front of people who are proven buyers, right? And then once they're on the list, the revenue base is wide, because there's so many different things you could sell. And all you're going to do is just cycle through different offers on a week-to-week basis. There's 52 weeks in the year. You have 52 different promotional periods where you could offer 52 different offers, or you could offer, the same 12 offers 4 times a year, right? There's a lot of different ways that you could do it. The cool thing is, in terms of content, a lot of people say, like, I don't have time to do content. What I do with a lot of my content is I will just literally take my daily email and I will repurpose it, which means repurpose. What does that mean? That means you copy it and you paste it and you hit post. That's what repurposing means, right? And yeah, there's ways where you could chop it down or reword it, and you could do all that stuff you want. But a lot of times what I do is I just take the email that I wrote to my list that morning, and I take it and I post on LinkedIn, I post on Twitter, I post on Instagram, sometimes I post on Facebook, and those are the channels where I usually repost everything. You could also turn these things into videos, into shorts or reels or TikToks or whatever. I mean, there's a lot of different options that you have. There's nothing wrong with doing that, and it's free traffic because, again, you've already done the work of writing the daily email. This is what I do. So my content needs are taken care of because whatever I wrote that morning is going on the social. So now the whole world is my email list. Now what's going to happen when I repost that daily email? All these people who are not yet on my list are going to see my message. And if they like what I'm talking about and like the product or the offer that I'm promoting, there's a chance they might DM me. There's a chance they might comment and we might get into a conversation. Or there's a chance they might make their way back to my profile and then opt in through one of my links, or if I include a link in the post or whatever it is, and then they get onto the list too, right? So it's kind of like you're building this flywheel effect, right? Where we are generating traffic, capturing the traffic, converting the traffic, and then the messaging that we used in the emails to convert that traffic, we are then putting it back into the top of the hourglass, generating a wider base of traffic, and then funneling that traffic down towards an email capture. So, and then obviously what happens then, you get more people onto the list. Whenever you send your daily email, you start to make more money. You take those emails and around and around and around the flywheel goes. So very important concept. This is what you should be doing.